Hey guys, I just wanted to come on for a few minutes and just get some things off my chest. And, I've had so many people asking me for months, what's going on with Chad? Is he okay? Why has he not been on the podcast? Do you guys have issues? What's the problem? And, I've just been telling everybody, Chad's, he's just busy. It's a new season in his life, and he's just been busy, which is true to a certain extent. But I've just got to be real. And this is not going, my intention is not for this to be a bash Chad Gunner Lail session. It may sound that way, but I promise that is not my intention. I've just got to get this monkey off my back. I've got to let people in on the behind the scenes things that have been going on. And that way everybody can stop messaging me and asking me questions about this particular subject. So let's take a trip down memory lane. Whenever Chad at the end of 2021 first got released from WWE, he called me the night that he got the call from the office and said that he had been given his release and that he had 90 days. And then we were hitting the road and we're tagging and we're going to, just enjoy the rest of our careers as a tag team and have fun. And so when his 90-day clause was up, that's exactly what we did. We hit the road and we were tagging, we were having fun, man, good fellowship and reconnecting with old friends that a lot of us had, both of us had not seen in a long time. And things were getting hot. And to the extent that they were getting hot, I didn't really know. But this is some things that I've just found out within the last few months. Things were getting hot for our tag team. And people were wanting to book our tag team. Not just some of the independents in the Tennessee, North Carolina, Georgia area, like I thought, that was the main areas that we were traveling, and that's what we were doing. So, but what I just recently found out is that what he actually just recently confessed to me was that there were more interest from major companies here in the U.S. and around the world to sign our tag team. And because he had already had it in his mind that he was going to retire this year, he selfishly turned down those offers without even consulting me. He turned down the offers that could have put me and my family in a better financial position. He turned down offers that could have put my name in a bigger light. And he turned down offers that could have given him a revamping. And, there's a lot of people who say, Gunner, Jackson Riker, Chad, whatever you want to call him, because of some of his previous opinions that he had stated publicly, he was blackballed. There was companies that they wasn't going to touch him, and especially the major promotions, they wasn't going to touch him just because of the controversies from some of his former opinions. But come to find out, that was not true at all. No, we were getting offers to go all around this world. We were getting good money offers. But he secretly turned them down because he was already ready to retire. Now, before I found these things out, he calls me and he tells me, hey, my retirement match is going to be on August 27th in Salisbury, North Carolina for AML Promotions, AML Wrestling. And he said, the remnant rides again. He said, I want to go out with my last match being me tagging with my best friend. And so I tell him I'm all in. I move things around in my schedule so that I can be sure to make it. And as the weeks go on, he calls me a couple of different times and he says, well, the promoters are saying that they might want to change some things around. They might want to tweak my retirement match just a little bit. And they've got an idea for this and they've got an idea for this. And I'm like, okay, I'm cool, whatever. I'm good with doing whatever we want to do, brother. And then he calls me back and he tells me, well, the promoters, they think it would be really good for me to have my last match against James Storm. They think it would be good for me to have my last match against someone who was a huge part of my career in the spotlight. Gunner, James Storm, TNA World Tag Team Champions. After their awesome tag team title run, there's the big Gunner versus James Storm feud, and it's, national television. And so the promoters think that it would be a good idea to do me versus James Storm. They want Gunner's retirement match to be Gunner versus James Storm in Salisbury, North Carolina. And he says, I hope this don't create any hard feelings, and I hope you understand, brother. So once again, I found out about the tag team situation and how he selfishly screwed me out of money and bigger things. And now I find out that the promoters think that it would be best if it was Gunner versus James Storm. So once again, Casey is pushed to the side. Casey is pushed to the side. The one who was by Gunner's side at all times. The one who rode his roads, rode the roads with him. The one who stayed at his house and he stayed at mine. The one who heard his deepest, darkest secrets. The one who was constantly trying to help him and counsel him through things. The one who has always been here. The one who, even when the whole world, wrestlers and fans alike, turned their back on him, Casey was still here. Casey was still pulling for him. Casey was still encouraging him. Even when he was going through hardships in his personal life, I was still pushing and encouraging him. And I get swept aside. I get tossed aside like yesterday's garbage. Well, if that's the way you want it, friend, then you can have it. But AML wrestling, if you're smart and you want to draw some money, you can have James Storm versus Gunner. But I dare you to put me in there too. Because I need to be the one that slaps the taste out of Chad Gunner Lail's mouth. I need to be the one that reminds him where he came from and reminds him who was there for him when he was down and out. And most of all, I deserve to be the one to put him out of his misery for good. I'm done. Turn it off. As I said at the beginning of this episode, it was not my intention to bash Chad. I know that my words got heated. I'm a little bit frustrated, and, hopefully that's something that will go away with time. But, it was not my intention to bash him as a person. There's some things that I know about him that nobody can take away from him. Number one, he loves God with all of his heart. Number two, he loves his daughter with all of his heart. And, for God and family, and as he has proven with his service as a Marine, even for country, he would sacrifice everything. But professionally, he does not love the sport of professional wrestling. And I don't believe that he deserves anything that he's gotten in it.
This is Wrestling for the Faith.
Wrestling for the Faith.